Am I the a-hole for not making my daughter give up her room to my stepdaughter and grandchild? I 37 have been married to my wife Sadie 37 for 4 years. I have a daughter Chloe of my own from my previous marriage age 9. Sadie has a daughter Ace 19 from an ex. Ace hasn't really been in our lives often, as she lived with her grandparents her whole life. The state took her from Sadie when Ace went 7. We still saw her on holidays and tried to reach out. Ace was living out of state with her boyfriend, but he was recently arrested, so she asked if her and her baby could move in with us as she needed help getting back on her feet. My wife and I spoke about it and agreed. When I brought up the extra bedroom in the attic, which is an area in the attic we made into a spare room for guests many years ago and no one uses the attic anyways, my wife became upset, gasped even, and said she was not making her daughter with a 5-month-old baby sleep in the dirty attic. I said obviously we would clean and prepare it, and where else did she suggest she sleep, which is when she told me Chloe bedroom would be perfect. Chloe bedroom is very large and across the hall from the bathroom, which Sadie said was perfect. I told her Chloe would not be giving up her bedroom she'd been living in since before I even met her. She got upset and started to plead and said that this could make up for the year's loss, and prove she really loved her and that she was wanted. I basically told her no, she could prove that another way that we wouldn't give up the bedroom. She got angry and said a 9-year-old does not need all that space, and I was picking favorites and not even thinking of the bigger picture. Ace WLD need more room, it's be hard for her to go up and down the stairs with a baby, etc. I stuck to my answer and my wife slammed the door and went for a drive. Today she tried convincing me again and I wouldn't give in and we got into another argument. Am I the a-hole for not banning strawberries from my wedding cake? I'm getting married next year. I love strawberries and I want some on my wedding cake. My plan is to have a 4-tier cake where the bottom 2 are completely separate entities with different flavors and the top 2 are lemon/strawberry. My mother is mildly allergic to strawberries. Will have a headache and a mild rash if she eats one, but is fine with eating food that has touched strawberries. She is absolutely incensed with my plan to include strawberries in my wedding cake and continuously makes passive-aggressive comments about how wedding RSVPs include a section for the guest's allergies and she would never serve something a guest couldn't eat. I explained to her that she is more than free to eat the other 2 cakes, they will be entirely strawberry-free, aren't even touching the top cake, and more importantly, my mother has diabetes and won't be eating more than a small slice to begin with. My fiancée agrees she's being selfish. I'm making this post because I was telling my dad about this issue and she walked in and added that this is my only daughter's one and only wedding, I want to be able to eat every part of the cake. Haven't been able to close my mouth since from the pure shock. I mean, it's my only wedding. And she sees nothing wrong with saying something so insanely out of pocket? Well, my dad agrees with her, so maybe I'm taking this too seriously and I can skip strawberries for a day. I really don't want to, but I also don't want to make this a big drama. My mom is used to getting whatever she wants and I'm used to my dad siding with her, but I really thought my goddamn wedding would be the exception. Am I the a-hole for proving that my wife can't do my job? This issue started when my wife left for a week for a girls' trip. The kids are all in school and I took over as the main caregiver when she was gone. It went well and when she came back she asked if I had trouble. I told her no and everything went smoothly. This started an argument about how I thought it was so easy that she was a som. It wasn't a good time and I already was pushing her to go back to work part-time since the kids were in school. We have talked about her to start looking around summer. The issue now is I work from home twice a week and every time she sees my screen or I complain about work she tells me she can do it. I have talked to her about it and nothing changes. That if she did it would go smoothly. I thought back on our argument and have asked her about it. She denies it has anything to do with it. So she won't stop and I had enough of it today. I was trying to figure out why there was an error in my code. She saw what I was doing and told me she could do that. I told her to go ahead, made a copy that she could work on. Well, she tried for about 5 minutes until she gave up. I reiterated that if she can do my job, find the error. This started a huge argument about making her look like an idiot and now she isn't talking to me. Am I the a-hole for trying to open my room door at the doctor's office? I had a doctor's appointment today at 10 a.m. and an urgent dentist appointment at 11:30 a.m. My dentist is located about 45 minutes from where my doctor is, relevant to the story. It's also important to note that if you are even 5 minutes late for your doctor's appointment at this office, they won't see you. You have to be on time. This is common for most clinics though. I showed up for my doctor's appointment at 9:50 a.m. I pay my copay. The medical assistant showed me back to a room, took my weight, BP, heart rate, and temperature, let me know my doctor would be in shortly, and closed the door. My doctor is a good doctor and she's thorough and sometimes she goes over on her appointments. It's not uncommon for her to show up to the room 15 or 20 minutes late. It's not ideal, but I'm aware of it and tried to plan accordingly. I waited 45 minutes for her to come in, but she never did. As I said above, I had a dentist appointment, so I decided to leave. I tried to open the door, but the doorknob is broken. It turns, but the latch doesn't move. So I'm literally stuck in the room. I try the knob again, nothing. I tap on the door, and no one comes. I jiggle the knob, nothing. I knock on the door, no one hears. So, I try to get it to unlatch on my end by trying to push up on the knob and turn it at the same time, by trying to turn it quickly, and by trying to turn the knob while pulling the door towards me and also pushing it away from me. This made a lot of noise, and somebody started yelling at me to stop from the other side of the door. They opened the door, and there are 4 of the staff there looking at me like I'm unhinged. I apologized, said I had tried getting their attention by knocking but no one heard. All I got was "Oh, we heard, we all heard, that was so unnecessary." Went to the front desk to ask for a refund for the copay since I wasn't seen, and they're all still looking at me like I'm some crazy person. I don't know. It was very embarrassing. Yes, I was irritated that I waited for so long and no one came. I feel like that's a normal and natural reaction to a situation like this. And this is a known issue with that doorknob. I've been trapped in that room before, but only for a minute. It needs to be fixed or replaced. Seems like a safety issue to me on top of everything else. And not just that, it's triggering for me to be locked in a room from the outside. But was I acting crazy or yelling or pounding on the door or trying to break it down? No. I don't know what I could have done differently. Wait a few more minutes? Try knocking louder? I'm embarrassed and angry now, and I tried to talk to them when I was there but I really had to get to my dentist appointment and I feel like trying to go back and explain myself is just going to be weird and awkward. Am I the a-hole for asking my fiancé to skip this year's Christmas family vacation because our baby is due? Context: I have gone to Florida with his family for the past 5 years for at least part of Christmas. Every other year, I return before him to spend Christmas Day with my family. This year is the first time in a long time that all the other siblings are able to overlap dates. My fiancé has major FOMO, which is why this is a sensitive subject. His parents have always been weird about keeping their family close. They've never said it outright but little things suggest they don't consider me completely part of their family yet since we aren't married. Also, my parents are away overseas dealing with a grandparent emergency. My mom has been kept in the loop though and is trying to come back as soon as she can. My fiancé and I, 31M and 31F, are expecting our first baby due December 30th. His family has a vacation home in Florida and they have gone every year during the holidays for about a month until after New Year. He agreed not to go this year because of the baby but his family is insisting that he go and come back on the 28th, which is ample time before the baby is due. So he bought a ticket for December 15th 28th. His reasoning is that his parents really want him there and his siblings will also be going. This is bothering me a lot more than I thought because I know pregnancies are unpredictable, especially in the last trimester, and if anything happens leading up to the due date, I need him there. My parents are away until December 26th and my friends have their families, so I will be completely alone. The other reason, and I guess it's more selfish, is that I will be spending Christmas by myself. It's not the main reason why I'm bothered but it's a small part of it. He's been spending Christmas every year in Florida since he was 15 and there will be many more trips after the baby is born. I don't know why he has to go this year. Anytime I bring it up, it results in a very uncomfortable fight about my expectations to put me first rather than his parents. I don't even bring it up anymore. His parents have always been kind to me but they also don't see any problem, so I think I'm going crazy.